Hello, this is Everything Entertainment, and this is my that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 4, episode 12 review. And this episode has been like the epilogue of the whole Maribel arc, or part one of an arc, if that makes sense. Like this is the epilogue to the arc. Like you could say this is the last arc, but since the lot like 1/7 of the episode is cover Maribel, yeah, this is the epilogue of the arc. We get like Granbell with his wife. I thought that was Maribel herself. It might be no, it's not Maribel. I'm going crazy. With his like wife on his bed, which probably will get explained later, and him pretty much seeking revenge, for for Maribel death and Luminous and all the monsters. So yeah, that's what's up with him. Pretty much, like this is the epilogue to the arc. So yeah, we just got that from him with the conclusion of like Maribel death, with like Rimuru meeting Maribel parents and pretty much wrapping up from there. So yeah, Maribel arc is done and we're moving on to the next arc, which pretty interesting. But for before that, I'm gonna talk about this epilogue episode. So we head back to Tempest with Rimuru and talk about the future of Tempest and how they're gonna follow the Western nation rules, which it's funny seeing his uh comrades' reaction to it, like Barry Mao and Shuna and Shion's reaction to him being partially judged. Because they're like, we don't even want you like to be overpowered, but we know like we have to do this. And he pretty much is setting up a government system with the three branches. If I remember correctly, the legislative branch, executive branch, and the judicial branch. Yeah, I think those are the three. I think those are three. Which is like, if I remember correctly, one makes laws, one enforces them, and one interprets them, and like reacts to them. If that makes sense. Yeah, I think those are three. If I remember correctly, I just read the manga, and if you know, you know. But anyway, yeah, they've been discussing the future of Tempest and how they're gonna be like more fair with humans to be on equal footing to the point Rimu can be judged. So yeah, that's just the whole deal with Tempest and the whole world at that point. Then we get Rimu talk about the swords and how his sword is pretty much incredible, which I think is higher than God, not like as good as God class. And they also talk about elements and the cores and the souls and all that. This will be important in the future, but I just want to highlight that because it was pretty cool to see them talk about the swords because it is it's like a not a throwaway line. Even though this section of the episode feels weird, it is important, like very important for future arcs in the story. So remember this. Then we get the follow up with Clayman and his army, like Clayman's army and what they're doing in Tepes and how Geld were able to communicate with them. Like he had problems with them before we basically shared his experience with Tepes and pretty much told him you're gonna be okay. He understands the dire situation and he's making sure they are welcome and safe. Which I'm surprised this lasted 4 seasons. They could have probably wrapped this up like last season. But hey, it's a good long progress story for Geld, like a good character arc for Geld because he's one of the best leaders in Tempest. Like honestly, he's a good guy. So it's good that he get this section of the episode for himself. And also we get Remo interacting with like found menace. Like he pretty much found out that his friend's wife is pregnant. I can't remember their name on the top of that my head, but he found out they're pregnant, and it just it was just a good scene, like a good addict scene to know that the world is turning and stuff is still happening. Now we get to the highlight of the episode, which is the training being completed. And honestly, I have to admit this moment was really cool. Like I really did like the training and the whole model section of it. It was a good moment because it this highlights Tempest's strength for the whole thing. Like a lot of countries came together and built it. Drogon, Tempest, yeah, Lubelius, and Dalian, like all come together. So Mimi's dream is happening. Like this doesn't seem like a big thing since Mimimu himself with Raphael could have probably created a train probably instantly too. Like it could have been like done in like a day. But it doesn't take away the fact that this is a big achievement. So yeah, I really do like the train. That's all I gotta say. I like the train and the fact they're evolving the world faster than any time before. And we get to the last part of the episode, which is pretty much a celebration. Ben and Mario is having sweets as always. Shuna being the best support character, like generally. When does she ever just have fun for herself? Shiona being a mess of everything, and so it's just getting hit on. Like a lot of characters are there. They're all in the background. Gabriel was there vibing. Gopta's there, drinking with the girl from the last episode. I can't remember her name, sorry. But yeah, they're all just having a fun time, partying with one another. And my favorite part of the whole thing was, well, besides the dragon reveal, which the dragon reveal was very heartwarming. My favorite part of the episode was Veldor inviting Rimu to party. That was absolutely awesome. Like I was about to say lovely, but that awesome is a better word. And I wish they do more of this because even though Remo have a bond with Veldor, does it feel like they have that strong a bond? Like if you read the spin-off manga, then they got a better bond than the actual main series, which I really just like that added touch. It was just so cool seeing that. But yeah, that's was the episode. So I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts in the conclusion. So yeah, I didn't have much to say about this episode. It was just a pretty chill episode. Like this might be my shortest video yet because how much like a lot of happened, but I'm not about to go too in depth. Everything will be shown in the future, so there's no point. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode a ton, even though I enjoyed this episode better than the last episode. The last episode was kind of boring compared to this one. So yeah, good epilogue, and I can't wait for the next call, which should be out next week. But I'm not sure since I don't really follow release dates like that. I just have to get noticed real quick. So yeah, this is my thoughts on this episode. If you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.